The jails are full to overflowing with people incarcerated for robbing in order to buy prescription drugs that they're using as street drugs.
So prison, just locking these people up, was not going to solve the problem of their drug abuse. It's probably going to make them better criminals if they ever got out.
Right now, we're spending millions and millions and millions of dollars in the United States on incarceration.
The Second Chance program is the perfect antidote to this. We could take that program into the county jails. In 6 months, those people could be rehabilitated. The jail space would be freed up for people that ought to be in jail, and we wouldn't have this recurring problem.
The Second Chance program is, so far, the only program I have found that can actually change a person.
And they did it down in Mexico. They did it in a foreign country.
The head of the gang in Ensenada, who was responsible for countless murders, countless executions, countless drug addictions, countless sins against God and man, who looked at the camera and said, I am a better man because Second Chance gave me hope.
People are going to come out of prison, coming out of the Second Chance program, and they're not going to go back to a life of crime. They're not going to go back to a life of drug dependency.
Personally, what this program can do, I've seen it with my own 2 eyes, how I gained my son back in my own life. And I know that there's so many families out there that them too, they're going to gain their sons back.
You may talk to someone who is a drug abuser or who was in jail, like I had the opportunity to talk to, and they had a victim mentality. Everything was the fault of someone else, or something that they didn't get, or something that no one did for them. And from talking to the students at Second Chance, you didn't get that. What you heard was, I'm responsible for what I did, and I can't wait to change it and make a difference and make it right.
I was very impacted. And the reason why is because I have dealt with this program before. I have a son, and he came to us and was concerned because he said he had a problem with marijuana, smoking marijuana every day, and he wanted help. And so we were introduced to Narconon of Arrowhead, which uses a similar philosophy of Second Chance program. He went there, we called, and he went there in 2 days, and we saw a tremendous change in him. And he went through the program, and when we went to visit him, they actually said he was the valedictorian of Narconon because he helped so many people. It just makes me realize that the people at Second Chance, just seeing them, I was very impacted. Because that could have been my son. Because he just got in the wrong place at the wrong time. And thank goodness that Mr. Benitez, in 1965, got together with a very intelligent person, Ron Hubbard, to develop a program to help people, because Matthew today is in college and he's in engineering, he's a sophomore, and he's overcome all this.
You know, I just love Second Chance.
You know, it's very emotional, I think. When I drove up in the bus today and I saw that sign on the outside wall that said Second Chance, I could have cried. I thought at last, you know, it has arrived. Once the word gets out, it's going to spread across the United States. The communication part, I thought, was a very important part of it. People that have very low esteem, that have no respect for each other, don't know how to communicate. They're suspicious of every little thing that's said. And I think to be able to sit there and stare at each other must be one of the hardest things to do.
I thought the communications part was excellent because it was showing them some of their weaknesses and skills that they need to build up. That also showed me that when we discussed that, the ball was dropped in grade school.
To create a level of trust so they can express themselves and tell you what's going on inside of them. So who needs therapy and counseling if one learns to express their feelings in a really good way?
I got experience a communication course. Before that, I would not be over here. I'd be in the sauna right now, hiding from you guys.
The nutritional detox component of this whole treatment program is just fascinating.
They were being taught to take care of their bodies and their minds and their spirit, and that's something that once a person learns, they'd be able to take away with them forever.
Their scientific background, knowing that we have to get those chemicals out of their body to even prepare that individual to accept treatment. It's a simple idea, but it makes sense.
I think the sauna is a must.
And it's a way of releasing the toxins and purifying. It helps.
Toxins, the drugs, the alcohol is in the pores of the skin and in the fat contents of the body. That if you don't get that out, 10, 15 years later, somebody could be on the golf course playing golf and they would start sweating profusely, and then all of a sudden they'd have this unbelievable desire to go back on drugs.
So what this does is cleanses the body from the inside out.
It's not being run on a trial basis. This is a proven thing that's taking place.
And until you have self-respect for yourself, you could never gain anything until you have that self-respect and learn to trust within yourself.
I'm not going to let my past dictate my future any longer. And this program is helping me to realize I don't have to.
I'm more respectful, because before everything that used to come out of my mouth was F this, F that. Now I hardly say that. I really feel great, body, mind, spirit, everything.
I was created to be a champion, a winner.
As I see that there's more to life than just playing video games and smoking bud.
That we could change, and there is a change in us.
Yeah, I was very pleased with it. Very pleased with how staff worked. The fact that they had actually gone through the program themselves, actually experienced it themselves, and now they are able to walk through it.
I can relate with these guys a whole lot better because I, for one, spent 25 years of my life behind bars. I know where they've been, I know where they've come from. Because they see me, they automatically, I tell them my history, and they think, well, wait a minute, there is life after crime and after prison and after drugs. I'm living proof of that for them.
The staff treated the participants with respect. Participants treated themselves with respect. That concept really stuck with me.
You've got to have a staff that's committed in order to make it work.
It opens up doors and bridges gaps that you never would have thought. You know, you would have never dreamed possible.
So now you're cleansing your mind, you're cleansing your body, you can think clearly, you can think rationally. It's kind of like starting with a clean canvas. It is a second chance.